This is an art journal that I'm making for myself. So yesterday, glued the cover together. Let's see, how big is this? I have an extra fold right here, but that's going to get covered. I haven't decided what I'm going to cover the spine with yet. I was going to have the threads come out on the outside, and I was going to put some beads and things on there, but then I'm thinking I'm going to be working in this art journal all the time, and I think beads would probably get in the way. So if I want to, I can make a dangle that hooks on, but for right now, I just want to finish constructing this. I've got these pages that I'm going to put in, but I'm not going to put them in until after I sew in the signatures, because if I try to sew the signatures in with these stiff cardboard covers, it's going to be very difficult to do. So we can go ahead and finish this one, and then while that's drying, we'll go ahead and sew in the pages. So I just want to show you what I did. I just took a piece of cardboard. It's chipboard, you know, it's thick. And I covered it with some scrapbooking paper. I had to turn it sideways because that's the only way it would fit on there, and it doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. I did take another piece of scrapbooking paper and I folded it in half. I glued it, and now this is ready on, and it comes out nice and thick. Well, I mean, it's not as thick as the nozzle that it comes with. It is a frosting tip, so it comes out thinner, but it comes out faster is what I'm trying to say. And you can really put a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I had already measured it out. It's all ready to go. This is my pocket. I'm going to squeeze it in just a little bit, just to give a little bit more room at the top of the pocket right there, like that. Okay. And now I already cut all of these little strips. These are just to cover the edges, because you can see on this side right here, it didn't cover it all the way. I did go ahead and I prepared the pages today. I was going to put 6 signatures in, but no, that's too many. I decided I'm going to put 4, and that should be enough. 6 is too many because the spine, I looked at the spine, it's not big enough for 6. It's fine for 4, but that's the max it can handle. So I'm just trimming this out just to make it look nicer and look a little bit more finished. I'll just trim the edge. So I'm just going to go around. These ones on the top, I believe, are the right size because they're almost 12 inches. It's from this is all from the same paper pack. I have used this paper pack more than any paper pack I've ever had. It's so versatile. I mean, there's papers I can use in my gratitude journal. There's papers I can use in my prayer journals, and then all kinds of projects. So I'm really loving this paper pack. It's been really great. Now this isn't going to be perfect. I'll move it over a little bit. I almost feel like I should have put the bottom and the top on first, but it doesn't matter. I just want it to look neat, that's all. So now I can just put one over this one, and that'll cover that little bit of the corner that's showing. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, so we just have one more piece put across the top, and then that page is, the inside cover is ready to go. I'll move this up a little bit. Yeah, so I was working on the pages today, just making sure everything was done so I can sew the signatures in, because I'm really excited about this art journal. I've never had one. And I watch a lot of people that use art journals, and I think they're cool, so I want to try making one for myself. It'll give me some incentive to go through some of the art supplies that I have. Yeah, I have a lot of art supplies, and they're getting old, and I just want to start using them. So if I have a place to use them, I'll most likely use them. See, that's a nice big pocket, and that looks great. But this is how it's going to look when it's done. See, look, that middle is just fine. There's a little hanging over, and that way you don't see, you know, the cracks. It's fine. And I could even move it a little more, and it's still fine. That'll be great. I'm very pleased with those. All right, so these I'm going to set to the side. So this system of connecting the pages from the calendar, all it is strips of paper that I folded in half, and I put glue on each page, and then I put glue on the strip, and then I just folded it, and then that sticks them together. And I ended up putting, I believe I have 3 sets. It's a calendar page. These, I glued these together, so it made one page. And then I have my watercolor paper, and then another page, double page, watercolor paper, double page, watercolor paper. So that's, each one of these is the same. So I'm going to have 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll use this to sew it in. So I've already gone ahead and I've made my template, but I'm going to go ahead and do all of the pages, the signatures. I'm going to get the holes done on them so they're ready to go when I'm ready to go. So I'll just go ahead and do that. I found this all, it came with a kit and there were like 3 of them. This long skinny one is my favorite. It works beautifully. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in the middle. Let's see, make sure I get it in the middle. And let's see. Fold that again. It's right in the crack. You want it to be in the crack. I can feel the crack under my fingers. That's how I know. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my mark, because that's where I will put the holes. Make sure it's in where you want it. See that? Boom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this to each one of these. So they'll just be ready to go. So you just take your awl. You watch your fingers, obviously, but you want to close it and then push it through. And just do that with each one of these holes. And it's a skinny needle and thread that's going through there, so you don't need to make a huge hole. And then I always hold it up to the light to make sure I can see through. See, this one in the middle is smaller than the other 2, and it might give me a little trouble when I go to put the needle through. So I'll just push it in a little bit more. I hold it up to the light, look through. Beauty. Okay, so there's one. I'm just going to put it off to the side, and I'll do each one like this. Let's see. The other thing I did is I wrapped some of this material, paper around after I glued them all together, like that. Then I took another piece, a bigger piece, and I glued it to make it like a really secure signature. So 1, 2, 3. We want 3 on each side. And this is really secure. I mean, it's constructed very well. At least I think it is. When you're holding something, I just want to make sure, yeah, it's like exactly this, where I want it. Just squeeze it together so that it stays where you want it. It's right in the crack. Right in that crack. Okay, get our mark made. I think if I used that other marker, it would make like too big of a mark. Yeah, see, I just need a little tiny mark. That's all I need. So we'll just go ahead. Now this one's a little bit above the crack, so what I'll do is just move my awl down a little bit so it's in the crack where I want it. I just push it through. This awl, I love it. It goes through like butter. Okay, so there's another one ready. We're going to count again. 1, 2. Let's get something on it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be painting all these anyways. 1, 2, 3. I'll take this again. I know I have showed this process before, but I've never made an art journal before, so I want to show you from start to finish how I made this. So maybe you'll be interested in making one. I've watched, I don't know if anyone knows, Wendy from The Unexpected Gypsy. I love her. She's an artist. She's very talented. And I've picked up a lot of things from her. She was one of the first people to encourage me to make my own handmade journal. I watched her make one, and I went ahead and I made one, and I loved it. And, you know, that kind of got me going. All right, I'm going to go ahead, do the same thing. I'm pushing it in a little bit more because I noticed if I just pushed it in a little bit, the hole wasn't big enough. This is a very thin awl, so it should be fine. Through there, yep. Great. Okay, one more, and we are ready. This has a little bit of stuff, so I'm not too concerned about the cover not being completely dry. It will dry over time. 1, 2, 3. It's going to take me a long time to fill this journal, this art journal. I'm wanting to, I want to try doing some watercolors. I've never really done watercolors before. I mean, I've used them, but I've never really learned how to use them properly. But I'm just going to play with them, and then when they're dry, I would like to get like a permanent, I'm going to have to go out and get like a really nice permanent marker. Whatever people use for like doodling. There's a few pieces down here that need to be trimmed, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing the same process. It seems to be working, so I've got it in the crack, right up against that crack. There we go. And then I'll just make my mark. Okay, and if they're not perfect, you can adjust it a little bit. It's okay. All right. I need this for my spine. But I thought I would just get this done ahead of time. And once we get the spine marked, it's just a matter of sewing them in. I went ahead and I prepped all of my strings with needles all ahead of time. So you don't have to sit there watching me thread every needle. I needed 4 needles with 4 colors, so I got 4 needles and I put the 4 strings in them. I cut them the size that I needed, so they're ready to go. So, let's see. Did I put my mark in there? 1, 2. Yes. All right, ready to put holes in again. Oh, I already did holes, but I'm going to make sure that they're, yeah. Yep. Now, this doesn't go all the way to the end. I think that's what I did is I measured it to the cover, but it's fine. As long as it has the same amount on the top and the bottom, it doesn't matter. That's what I need to do. Oh, in order to do that, though, you need to have holes in there, right, for the marks? But that's all right, I'll just do this. Let's see, is this even on there? It's fine. Hopefully that mark is going to show up through that hole. That's what we're hoping for. This is a good little marker. It's called a Bic Intensity, and it's a fine marker. I love fine markers. Let's see, what did I do with that? That worked really good. Yeah, I can see them. All right, so let's get now. I alternated the colors. We have green, peach, green, peach. Not that I don't even know if you're even gonna see that, but I just like to do things like that. I'm kind of a nerd that way. All right, so, and I'm also gonna alternate the colors of my threads. Doesn't matter, I'm just gonna do them in a row. So what we're gonna do is, let's see, I don't want the strings on the outside, I want them on the inside. I'm gonna start with the first one because it's just easier to start with the one that's closest to you. You go through the middle, you leave yourself some thread. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it through the top. Did I do it? I did it. Okay, now go through the top of this one. I'll hold it up a little so you can see. Look, it just goes right through. These long needles are fantastic. This is another tool that I absolutely love. I found these long skinny needles and they work beautifully. Got to pull that extra string out so it doesn't get caught. All right, so make sure you leave a little in case I want to put some, I probably will put some beads on the bottom of this. So I'll hang that down. And now you go all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to move this so you can see. All the way to the bottom. Flip it over. And go all the way to the first one on the bottom. Flip that over. Pull it through. Get your thread out because you have excess thread that needs to come out. Now you want to go through the middle, but make sure you don't pierce that thread. Because if you pierce it, it's going to be harder to tighten. So you want to go through there. Make sure you 1, 2, 3, right? We want to make, yep, there it is. So just push it through. Pull it. That one stays down there. We got to find that extra one. Where is it? Which one is it? This is what happens. It gets caught. I might have went through the thread. I did. It's okay. Let's see. It's fine. So we want to make sure we have one thread on one side and one thread on the other. So I usually pull it this way and then I pull it that way. Now you always have to check. Is it tight? It is tight, but it'll get tighter as I knot it. All right, so I'm going to take my needle out and stick it in my needle holder, in my little thing I have over here. Got it at Joann Fabrics. That was the only deal I got at Joann Fabrics because their sales are not good at all. I did buy a bunch of stuff, but I didn't save much money. Okay, so I tie it one way and then I tie it another way. That makes a square knot. And that is not coming out. So now you have these nice long strings. I hope everybody's having a great day. We've got one signature in. And now we'll just keep working. Let's get the next one. And I'll just grab a thread. It doesn't really matter. I guess I'll take this blue one. And we're going to do the same process. Count 3. 1, 2, 3. That's where your holes are, and you can see your marks. We go through the middle. We made our holes big enough for this needle, so that's great. So you just go through the middle of that second set of holes, and you want to make sure you leave a nice long piece. and pull your piece out because you've got extra on here. Let's see, it's probably this other one. It is. Pull it out. Now you want to go to the top. This is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Okay, so we want to go into the top hole and then make sure you're 3 in. You just keep doing the same motions. It should be fine. And it's a little loose when you're putting it in, which is totally fine. And now you go all the way down to the bottom. Go to the second set, to the bottom hole. Come out. Make sure you have your thread. And now we're going to go in. Now, I hope I don't pierce the thread. I pull it out and then put it in. Where's that extra? There it is. And you can pull this a little tighter if you want to. I usually wait till the end. And now, make sure I'm through. I am. This one, finding the right awl and the right needle has made a huge difference for me. Okay, and then you go up to the top. Put that needle through that hole. Make sure that you're in the middle, and you are. Okay. Oops, we want a nice long piece hanging. And then we're going to go all the way down. And now I'm going to go through the middle. Flip this whole thing over. And now you want to go into that hole in the middle. Make sure that you're in the middle, and you are. You want to leave a long string for yourself. Okay, leave that long one. Okay, and now you go up to the top. And then you find the top hole, put it through. And now you open it up, make sure you're in the middle, and you are. Pull it through. Oops, we want to keep that one in. This one has extra that we want to pull out. Nope, it's this one. Okay. I want these to be long. Let's see how long the other one is. Yep, I definitely want this long. Okay. Now you go down to the bottom. And then you find the bottom holes. Pull it through. You know, you have that extra that you have to pull out. There it is. Okay. And now we're going to go through the middle. Try not to split that. And now we want to go through the middle of this signature. Are we through? Nope. We are now. Okay. So we want to make sure this is on the other side. Let's pull this extra thread out. Okay. All right. I'm going to take my needle. Put it in my pin cushion. All right. So I'm going to take the blue one next. And then I have orange left. I know I could match orange to the orange. I don't want to do that. Trying to mix it all up. So we have 1, 2, 3, and that's where our hole is. Go through the middle. Go through the middle of the 3rd row. Make sure you leave a nice long string. Okay, now you want to go to the top. And now you got to flip this all over. And you want to go to the top. Put that needle right through the top hole. If you go straight through, it should be where it needs to be. Oops. And it is. So we pull that up. Make sure you pull that other thread. Make sure this one's long. Okay, so now you want to go all the way down. to the bottom. Find the bottom hole of the third row. Make sure you're checking that. Okay, we want to make sure we pull out that extra piece. Yep, so we're going through the middle again. And now we need to match the middle hole up. Okay, let's check to make sure it's through the middle. It is. Now we can push the needle all the way through. There we go. Very nice. Okay, so we have one on one side, one on the other. Before I tighten it, I am going to put that needle there, get it out of my way. We have one on one side, one on the other. Okay, that's great. So now we got to check. See? Okay, so we have our last one. This is exciting. Okay, I have one more needle already threaded, ready to go. Glad I did that today. Kind of saved me a little bit of time. So we're going to do, again, same process. 1, 2, 3. Going in the middle. These long needles are fantastic. Go right through the middle of the last set of 4 holes. Okay, make sure you leave a nice long one there. And you got to pull out that extra. That's good. So we're going to the top. So now we're going to have to kind of flip this whole thing until we get to this point. All right. Now, if you put that, it might be easier to just pull the needle all the way through and then go through the top hole. Now check to make sure we're in the right spot, and we are. Okay. Now make sure you pull out that extra thread. That's always annoying, but it's just part of the whole thing, you know. I'm going to pull this while I have the chance, and it's still loose enough for me to do that. So now we're going to go all the way down. And we're going to, oops, hold on. We're going to go to the bottom hole of the 4th set of holes. Beautiful. That's exactly what you want. Pull that extra piece out. Okay, so now what we want to do, right now this is very floppy, but once I put those panels in, it'll be so much better. So now we're going to have to flip this whole thing. Find, oops, let's get that, we'll just pull the needle out. It's probably easier that way. Okay. Go through that middle hole. Don't try not to pierce that thread, and I don't think I did. Now let's see. We have one on this side. We want one on the other. Before you take the needle off, it helps to just do that. Okay, now all of my needles are safely out of the way. So we're going to tighten it one way, tighten it the other way. Let's check one more time. I always usually check twice. Yeah, that could be a little tighter. Yep, okay. Yep, that's good. That just took up that little bit of slack that was there. So I did it one way. Now I'll do it the other way. Do that square knot, and look at, you got plenty of strings. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now, it's good that we have extra room because I have pockets on, I'm going to have pockets on each side, and I'm going to stuff it with things that I want to use in here. But look at that. I'm so excited. That looks great. This is fun. All right. I'm going to try to come in a little bit. I don't need it splurging out all over the place. All right, I'm going to stand up for this. Make sure it's the right side up. Check your cover. Okay, I'll leave a little bit on the edge. I pull that down just a little. This can go up a teeny bit. Nope, not really. All right, let's get a dry one. I'm going to push it down. Make sure that art glitter glue has good contact. And I can put a book on this and let it sit. But for right now, just want to make sure I get it on there. These are nice long ones. These are the ones I was talking about yesterday. These are hair clips, but these might be good for the corner. I think this will help to keep it down. I don't want to put clips all the way around because it might indent the paper and it won't look good. These I don't think are going to be a problem. So there's that one. Now we got to do this one. Maybe I'll just turn it this way because I can lean it up against that shelf in front of me. Okay, make sure your strings are out of the way. We got to remember which way this is going. Your pocket needs to be down here because this... Yep. All right, so you need to get a lot of glue. I don't know if that's going to work or what, but that's all I have that I can use. And this isn't perfectly square and all that. I mean, I did the best I could, and I think it looks pretty good. Since I've never made one of these before, so I just think it's great. If you would like to make a comment, tell me what you think of this art journal. That would make me very happy. Oh, wow. It's actually a book. I love it. I think it looks great. I mean, it's a little lumpy from all the glue, but you know what? It's fine. That'll dry, and then I could always add things to the cover if I want. I did go ahead, and I found 2 flowers that will go right over the word mum. I kind of think I want to put a little bit of ink around the edges because it has that white edge that I don't like. I trimmed off, there was like a ½ an inch of white all the way around. I didn't like it. It didn't look right. It was too much. So I think that's going to be great. Let's see. I'm not sure which way is going to cover it just right, you know. I have to also look at the positioning of the flower, you know. I don't want it to look weird. See, I can still see something there, so I'm going to have to stand up and see where is the best position. I think it's right there. So, let's go ahead. Plenty of glue. I'm going to have to put one on the back too. Whenever you make something out of these Dollar Tree gift bags, there's something you have to cover. And I like to find things from Dollar Tree that match what I'm doing. Okay, that looks good. Just holding that there for a minute so it makes good contact. See, there's glue coming out. That way we know it's right to the edge. I also use Dollar Tree wall decals a lot. I noticed they haven't had a lot of good ones lately, but I do have, you know, I have a little supply of them, so I've been using them. Like on my prayer journals and my idea journals. Yeah, see, that looks pretty. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the flowers that are already there. So that's good. I could take a little bit of glue with glitter. Maybe go around and... if I really wanted to. I don't think I'm going to do that. So, see, this is not dry yet. There's still some glue. The rest of it's dry. There's more down here that hasn't dried. But it's fine. All right, a little bit of ink around the edge just to get rid of that white edge, because you can tell where I cut it. And that works. All right, so let's see if I can figure it out again. I guess it's right there. It might not be exactly where I want it, but you know what? I need to cover that, and I'll just put it where it needs to go. A little bit more there. I think we're good. Oops, I want to keep it in the same position so I know that that's where it needs to go. Oh yeah, I really love how this came out. I'm going to leave those on the corners for a little while, and then I'm going to get big books, and I'm going to put them on the inside covers so that they, overnight, so that they dry properly. Well, I wanted to thank you for coming to my channel. Please like, share, comment. I'd love to hear what you think of this. If you could drop me a comment and let me know. Is this something that you would make, or you just like watching me make it and you think it's a great idea? Any of those things. I'd love to hear a comment. And I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting.